Out of executive session, we are at item 2 on our docket for today, which are proclamations and presentations, and it is my honor to start with some swearing-ins of some of our officers. So some promotions. So just give me a moment. I'm going to come on down, and I'm going to ask Deputy Chief Thomasy to come on down. Okay, if you can repeat after me. You know the drill already, I see. All right. I, Michael Thomasy,
I, Michael Thomasy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and the governments, in the United States and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of Deputy Fire Chief
all the duties of Deputy Fire Chief
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, once you're done, if you can just stand on the side here, please. Before I let you go. If I can have Captain Jeffrey Giarusso come on down. And any family that'd like to come down as well. Thank you. I, Jeffrey Giarusso,
I, Jeffrey Giarusso,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of fire captain
and all the duties of fire captain
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Lieutenant Diamore. And any family that would like to come down. I, Jesse D. Amore III,
I, Jesse D. Amore III,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of fire lieutenant
all the duties of fire lieutenant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Okay, and with that, I'm going to ask Chief Razaza to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a wonderful occasion, special for me too. It's my first group of promotions, so I just want to say congratulations again to the lieutenant, the captain, the deputy. Let's hear it for these guys in this well-deserved promotion. Appreciate it. And it's great to see a turnout like this. The Hackensack Fire Department feels your support, and all the families that came out, friends of the department, it means a lot. Appreciate you guys. And thank you to Mayor Gaines and members of the council. We appreciate your support and your commitment to safety of the public, as well as the safety of the men and women of the Hackensack Fire Department. So by making these promotions, keeping this span of control intact and our ranks intact means a lot. And we appreciate that. The residents appreciate it, and we're safer for it. So thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it.
Okay, we are going to take a brief recess for just about 5 or 6 minutes so that we can take some photos. Any family that would like to come up and take photos, we will continue on with proclamations right after. But please don't be shy. Any of the newly sworn in promoted officers can come on up. Thank you. We'll pause for a couple minutes. Thanks. You can grab a seat, please, if you are staying. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we are back. Thank you, everyone, for indulging us for a brief recess. We have another proclamation, and I'm going to ask for the residents of Clinton Ave to come down. Clinton Place. Oh, I'm so sorry. I knew it was Clinton Place. If I could have the residents of Clinton Place to come on down, please. Thank you. Yes, I do. Good to see you. How are you? Long time no see. Please come up. Come on up. Come up. You're just gonna hang out here. All right. So, oh, you're still okay. All right. So I have to say, I'm a big Halloween person. I love Halloween so much, and so this is particularly exciting to be able to give a proclamation to the residents of Clinton Place for not just this year, but my goodness, since I was a kid, just all that you do. I was just asking someone today, like, when you move onto the block, do they say, like, you have to do this? Are they deed restricted? Like, is Halloween a necessary thing? But we just wanted to come out and recognize you. You all work so hard and so tirelessly over this season and do so much, not only for us here in Hackensack, but it's a destination spot, as you all know. And so thank you for that. And I'm going to read the formal proclamation. Whereas the Halloween displays on Clinton Place began over 30 years ago as a small neighborhood effort to bring families and friends together for some haunting fun. And whereas over the years it has grown into a beloved event that now draws visitors from across Bergen County and beyond. And whereas the long-standing tradition has always been about more than just decorations. It's about community spirit, neighbors working together, and giving the community a safe and magical way to celebrate All Hallows Eve. And whereas many residents create elaborate themed decorations from classic Halloween scenes to displays inspired by favorite movies, several homes even coordinate to create an interactive experience. And whereas this year's festivities feature a flash mob performance of Thriller, choreographed by Lori Manning of Nellie K. Parker School, adding even more excitement and community fun to the celebration. And whereas the residents of Clinton Place are raising funds for local fire and police departments as a way to give back to those who help keep our community safe. Now, therefore, I, Kasim Gaines, Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the members of the City Council, do recognize and hereby thank the residents of Clinton Place for their tireless effort to spread Halloween fun to the community, to all who dare to enter the haunts of Hackensack. Thank you again. Thank you. I don't know who wants to, I'll sign it, whoever wants to keep this. We'll make more copies. We'll make more copies. And I don't know, while we get some, I don't know if anyone wants to say a few words for a moment, or we're okay?
The only anecdote that happened 20 years ago.
But please.
Oh, God.
It's on, it's on.
Okay, before we actually moved on the block, my wife and I were down in Tuckahoe or wherever, somewhere in South Jersey. I met a couple from North Jersey. And we told them we lived in Hackensack. Oh, they had that Clinton Place block. I mean, they're so crazy. Who would want to buy a house in that block? The day before, we put a down payment on the house. So we told them we would. And that just goes to show you how some people feel about the place. But we weren't going to say nothing, but we did. We admitted it, and we're still happy. That was over 20 years ago.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Drew.
Okay. The oldest people is it?
Are we good? Should we double row it, Frank, or you? Yeah, we might have to. All right. Do we want to make a small row? Short people, one step forward. Those holding the proclamation. That's it. Here you go. We can all come on in. Come on. Come on.
No, you get a man.
All right.
I'm comfortable.
Okay. All right.
So actually, Dixie's father started a spider across the Victorian house off the balcony, and then Pat and Mike covered their entire board in spider web, and he walked through, and we could hear the screams all the way up.
Nice. Really good. There you go. So nice to see you. Nice to see you. Thank you and congratulations. All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, this one.
Thank you. All right. Thanks. Take care. Roberto, come on over. Red Rover. All right, I see that. All right. We're on agenda item 2, I think, so today. Okay, so we have one more proclamation. Whereas, as we forge new futures as a unified people, we must celebrate the unique and vibrant cultures that have written the American story. Many determined individuals have sought our shores as a beacon of hope and opportunity, and their spirit of limitless possibility and example of resolve continues to inspire and guide our nation. And whereas, upon arrival in the United States, the Italian-American community faced racial, social, and religious discrimination, yet Italian Americans have persevered with hope and hard work to reach for the American dream and helped build our great country. And whereas today the legacy of these intrepid immigrants is found in the millions of American men, women, and children of Italian descent who strengthen and enrich our country. Italian Americans operate thriving businesses, teach our children, serve at all levels of government, and succeed in myriad occupations, drawing on the courage and principles of their forebearers. And whereas generations of Italian Americans have helped shape our society and steer the course of our history, bound by enduring values of faith and family, Italian Americans have flourished in all areas of our public and economic life while preserving their proud Italian traditions. And now, therefore, I, Cassine Gaines, Mayor of the City of Hackensack, along with the members of the City Council, do recognize and hereby celebrate Italian American Heritage Month. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to move on to a report from our CFO, Jim Mangan.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to give a quick report tonight on the best practices inventory, which is something that we do every fall, and it needs a quick explanation. The best practices checklist is something that was developed by the legislature back in 2011, and it's been reauthorized every year. It's part of the state budget. What it is the Division of Local Government Services compiles a checklist of what they consider to be 50 of the 50 best practices. And then they take this checklist, they send it out to every municipality in New Jersey, and then what we have to do is match it against our operations and score ourselves against that list. Okay, so we do that, and then we send that into the state, and we score ourselves. And the way it works is if you score too low, you do get penalized with a loss of a portion of your state aid. Now, Hackensack's never lost any part of their state aid. It never will, I can tell you that. So this year's checklist came out. The maximum score this year was 44. We scored a 36. Okay, I sent the checklist out to you guys last week. If you have any questions on any of the questions are answered, I'd be happy to field them right now.
The only thing I'm going to ask is just for you to contextualize what that 36 is, just so people are hearing a number and there's no real context as to
yeah,
what that
yeah.
is.
I'm sorry, I meant to do that. Yeah, if a 36 out of 44 roughly equates to about an 83%. Okay, which is same as it was last year. Okay. Oh, and following tonight, we always post the full checklist and the score sheet on the city website, on the finance section of the city website under presentations. Okay. All right. And again, this is done every year. It's done every October. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan time. So we're going to start calling it Ryan time.
Good evening. All right. Just the usual overview of the projects. I will be going into more detail. Firehouse Engine 2 on the 14th, the building department inspection passed. Concrete was poured on the 16th on the apparatus floor, and once the 28-day curing ends, the truck will be able to return to the garage on November 13th. And then after that, there's just an epoxy coating that'll go on the floor, and then that project will be wrapped up. Fashini, Fields 8, 9, and 10. The contractor is continuing with drainage improvements as well as the excavation for the foundations of the light poles. The next 2-week look ahead is they're going to install the head wall for the drainage to discharge into the river and to continue with the field lighting foundations. The Grand Avenue pedestrian improvements project that is currently out to bid, and the bid opening will be held on also November 13th. This was a DOT local aid grant funded, partially funded project, and it includes intersection improvements at Grand and Poplar and Grand and Fairmount, by the Fairmount School, and it includes new striping, curb bump outs for the pedestrian ADA walkways, and line striping and the flashing pedestrian crossing signs. And again, just the list of roads to be paved this year, hopefully, with the weather holds out. The contractor has started on South Newman this week. They have to do the CDBG funded roads first, just due to the funding that we receive. It has to be closed out by the end of the year, and then they will continue on with the other streets, weather permitting. Baldwin Park, this is on again because the construction administration proposal is on for award at the council meeting. This project includes ADA improvements at Baldwin Park, surrounding the park, ADA improvements of the walkways leading up to that upper portion, as well as the playground area, and some plantings of street trees. And then with the municipal court, this project has been in the works for several years at this point. So what would the improvements include? Redoing that, call it the storefront, the glass panels, the transaction windows, and the door into the inner offices of the violations area. The current layout will be removed and new walls framed up with ballistic panels and new transaction windows. And that work is slated to begin in the beginning of December. And any questions?
I think we're all good. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I got one more announcement. I believe the Nixle went out this afternoon, but starting tomorrow evening, there's going to be full westbound closure on the Anderson Street Bridge from Teaneck coming into the city, beginning at approximately 7 p.m., ongoing overnight to 6 a.m. for some repairs being made to the interim repairs onto the bridge. And that's probably going to last for several weeks, Monday through Friday, overnight. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ryan, can you just make sure that that information, we can do a special notice about that in the weekly newsletter as well, so if that information just get over. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much. City Manager's report.
Good evening, everyone. Just a reminder, Veterans Day ceremony is November 11th, 11 a.m. at the Green on Washington Place. It's always a great event. We appreciate all of the turnout and support for that if you can make it. I'd like to congratulate the newly sworn-in officers from the fire department tonight. It's great to see them all here and big support that they had. Congratulations on that. I did want to just provide a couple quick follow-ups from last meeting. We had some concerned residents bringing about some issues. I can report on a couple that we've been able to recognize and rectify. We had some concerns about the street sweeping on Grand and Marvin. I forwarded that to the DPW. They were going to take care of it. And just as an FYI, I've learned that the DPW has only 2 street sweeping machines, and we only have 2 qualified drivers for those machines at this time. So we're working on getting more qualified drivers so that we can keep those machines on the road more often. But if there was a lapse on your street, it was most likely because we had one gentleman out for an extended period of time, so we were limited with our drivers. Had a concerned resident reporting 72 Newman Street, some complaints of noise and people hanging out there. I forwarded that to the police department, and they reported back to me that they've been monitoring the area and they've broken up a couple of crowds that were down there in the last week or so. Had another resident come up, was concerned that about the Halloween safety and that we should be putting something out, which we ended up putting out on all social media sites and on our city website. We have some Halloween safety tips for all of the kids and all of the adults that are going to be out on Halloween. Another gentleman requesting we look at the intersection of Anderson and Union for some pedestrian safety upgrades. And I will report that I spoke to Ryan on this, and that actual whole intersection and most of Anderson Street there is included in a big streetscapes project, which has already been funded, and it will go, it'll probably start sometime next year. The project itself, it's still being designed, but it will include the pedestrian safety crossings there at Union and Anderson as requested by Mr. Smith. And then Helen McFadyen from High Street, I'm sorry to report we have not made any progress yet on the parking for residents only issue. We have met with the police department and with the traffic division. We've had several meetings. We have identified that our enforcement is a little lacking in that regard, and we're in the process of purchasing some automatic license plate readers for the parking enforcement officers so that they can more readily enforce our current issues that we have with resident-only parking. So we're still on top of it. I just wanted to report back that we didn't forget about it, and we're hopefully going to make some progress with the enforcement on that as we study what else we can do to improve the resident parking-only issues. That's all I have to report, sir.
Thank you. Okay, before I ask for a motion for public comment, I just want to alert everyone, there's an item on the docket for today. It's number 2 in one of those things. It is amending the rules of order. One of the things that we are going to do once we pass that is try to streamline the meetings a little bit, particularly to eliminate the gap between the cow meeting and the 8 o'clock meeting. So what we are going to do is notice all of the meetings at 5:30. We will go into executive session as we have done, as they have done for years. We will put an anticipated time for when we anticipate to come out of executive session. And then once we come out of executive session, we are going to go straight through. So if we end the what was traditionally the cow meeting early, we won't break for 20 minutes or break for 45 minutes. We'll just go straight through the docket. To that end, we did not want to, by consolidating the meetings, take away anyone's opportunity for public comment. If you're here for both, we didn't want you to lose your second bite at the apple, so to speak. And so if you notice on the docket for today, it says public comment, and it's listed a little bit differently. It says public comment on agenda items. And so if there's something before we vote, if you'd like to speak on something that's on the agenda, please come forward, speak on it. You have that opportunity. And then at the end, if you have a new issue that you'd like to put on our radar that isn't an agenda item, or if you just want to revisit an agenda item after we voted on it, you're more than welcome to just have your piece with whatever you'd like at the end as well. But we're just trying to eliminate the lag so that we aren't guaranteed to leave at 8:45 at a minimum every day. So with that being said, I'm going to ask that if anyone has a public comment on an agenda item, if you can come on down, please. Thank you.
Joel Dawkins, Hackensack. First item is the CFO report. I'd like to get information as to how those particular municipalities got 44 and we got 36, so we can see what the gap is. If we're a county seat, we should be near the top or at the top. Number two, I don't know if this is on Ryan's agenda, but we need more of those pedestrian flashing signs along Summit, all the way from Standish, all the way down to Spring Valley Road. It's a heavily trafficked area, and people like to walk, and they should have the ability to do so, including Prospect Avenue and maybe along Hudson. Even though they're not as high priced, they should have the ability to have those same protections. And I think that was it for now. I forgot the last one, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dawkins. Thank you.
Good evening, Blanche Stewart, 3rd Street, Hackensack. When I was listening to the streets that were being repaved, my street wasn't on there. I've asked that continually over the past 3-4 years, when was 3rd Street going to be repaved? I was always told it'll be at the beginning of next year. So now I've been at that address for 29 years. Next year I won't have a mortgage, and it still has not been paved in the 30 years that I've been there. So I'd like to ask, when will 3rd Street be paved? And if not, if it can go into the next set of streets, because you have like these small streets, the Wolf Place, Wesley Street. 3rd Street may be short, but it goes from Central almost to Passaic Street. And the rumbling at night as trucks come through there is unbearable. So please take that into consideration. Also, I just wanted to congratulate the firemen and also you guys for doing such a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Yeah, Charlie Avalone, Foot in Place. I just had one question since it was brought up. As far as I know, the Anderson Street Bridge has been shrunk down to that for over 12 years. Is there any indication when they're going to open it up again? I drove over it one night. It was open. Oh, I'm sorry. I drove over it one night. It was fully open. Next morning, when I went to work, it was half. So I didn't know, and all the buses went to Route 4. So what's Route 4 going to happen now with all the buses extra going out across that bridge? So since you had mentioned the work they're doing for temporary repair, I guess, is there anything on the docket somewhere in the next century that they're going to replace it?
Yeah, so I'll ask Ryan to come back up after public comments, if you don't mind. But I'll ask, Ryan has an update for you.
And these two other things, I don't know if they're now or later, but since they are due to the streets, I live on Clinton Place, have to cross Prospect. They do have the flashing stop signs, but you still, in fact, there was an accident 2 weeks ago. I'm requesting we put a four-way stop sign there, because a lot of people use Clinton to go up and down, and they're always just missing each other. I mean, it's not often, but if there's a possibility of a four-way stop there, like it's on Anderson. And one last place, Linden, by the railroad tracks. It's another area where there's a lot of close calls, because I think some people believe the white line from the railroad tracks is a stop line. So they're expecting Clinton to be stopping, and people on Linden are going right through the stop sign. And my wife Susan was actually hit there a couple years ago. You know, not a major thing, but the other woman got a ticket. Anyway, that's my three little things just to put on your agendas.
Thank
for
you.
listening.
Thank you, Mr. Avalon. Thank you. It's the first time. We're so lenient. Just come on down. Come on down.
So, my name is Augusto from Clinton. So, two things. I would like to request for the street to be closed from Clarendon all the way to Summit, because we have a few houses that pass Prospect, including mine, and sometimes it doesn't get the attention every year. Last year was successful. There was no cars, there was damage, there was no property damage, and everybody had a lot of fun. And it was very safe for people to walk on the streets, not on the sidewalk.
You're talking about during the Halloween season.
On Halloween, like on Halloween, yeah. The second thing is on Beach Street, as well as Central, there's no turning light on the, let me put this up, sorry. There's no turning light on the traffic light. There's one in Prospect and Passaic, but there's not one on Summit and Beach Street or Summit and Central. And it causes sometimes accidents. So when you're turning to the left or the right, and there's also a bus, the 163 bus that comes that way, it doesn't have a way to turn. So sometimes people avoid hitting the bus, and it hits the bus stop or the sidewalk. So just for safety purposes, it would be great to have that. And in terms of the flashing signs for the pedestrians, it's good for the pedestrian to have the ability to press the button instead of being flashing all the time, because if it flashes all the time, people continue to go through. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public for this portion?
Good evening, Marty Smith, Prospect Avenue. I'm a member of the Condo Co-op Advisory Board's Traffic Safety Committee. I'd like to bring to your attention an issue that we brought to the attention of the previous administration about a year and a half ago, and that was the current speed limit on Summit Avenue between Passaic Street and Spring Valley Avenue. Summit Avenue, for the most part, is a county road, but for some reason that I can't explain, that section comes under city jurisdiction. And as you probably know, streets under city jurisdiction in Hackensack typically have a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. So we brought this issue to the attention of the previous administration back in June of 2024. When we did, the council decided to have a traffic survey done. And that traffic survey was done by the Bergen County Sheriff's Department from July 23rd until July 30th on a 24-hour-a-day basis. During that time, the Sheriff's Department counted for that week 83,835 vehicles using that section of Summit Avenue. They also clocked all vehicles for speed and found that the typical speed was 38 miles per hour, which was 3 miles above the posted speed limit. At a meeting of the city council, Mr. Caruso told me one evening when he was the city manager that the Hackensack Traffic Department had decided not to lower the speed limit, that he had received a letter from, at that time, Captain Antista, saying that there should be a standard speed limit. But in effect, Summit Avenue, from its northern terminus down to the Lodi line, has 3 different speed zones, 30, 35, and 40 miles an hour. At that time, at that meeting, I asked Mr. Caruso what were the parameters that were used by the traffic department in determining not to lower the speed limit. He said he didn't know, but that he would find out. By the time the next city council was scheduled, Mr. Caruso was no longer the city manager, and so we were never told what those parameters might have been. Subsequently,
Take another 30 seconds, please.
thank you. Subsequently, I received a copy of the letter from Captain Antista to Mr. Caruso. He really doesn't give any specific reasons why, but the reasons that we believe the speed limit should be changed are the following. Number one, Summit Avenue is a very wide street, which means it takes longer for pedestrians to cross, particularly senior citizens and those pedestrians who have disabilities, who are walking with canes or walkers. Secondly, the average speed limit of these cars, according to the Sheriff's Department, is 38 miles an hour, which is a very fast speed for a residential street. And the third parameter they should have used was the fact that between Passaic Street and Spring Valley Avenue, there are 9 intersections. Only 2 intersections in that area of Summit Avenue have crosswalks. All other intersections are unprotected. Now, all of these other
I don't want to cut you off, but if you could just bring your point to a close. I just want to be respectful of everyone else's time as well. Thank you.
All other intersections are unprotected. They are all T intersections, which means that the intersecting streets end at Summit Avenue. And they are all located on the east side of Summit Avenue. So we would just request that the council revisit this issue based on the parameters that we've given you and see if perhaps we can get Summit Avenue to have a safer speed limit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Hi, I'm Michael Landau. I live at 321 Clinton Place, Hackensack. I know we live on a wide street, and we were just celebrated. I'm sorry I missed it. I was working, but I got back from the city, and I'm here. But one of the things that I've realized living there for about 6 years is, you know, we're on a street where the fire trucks go through, ambulances. It's a main thoroughfare, so we were never able to put or request speed bumps or any kind of deterrent for speed between Summit and Prospect. So one of the thoughts, you know, is to get a radar gun or one of those speed signs, because we see them in Maywood and a lot of different other streets, you know, that are parallel to ours. And I think it would be really something that we would really appreciate, either going up or down the hill, because no matter what, if you're doing 25 miles an hour on a hill, you're doing 35, 40. So, and we just had a lot of new kids move in, and I think it would be a great thing to do. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Marlene Somerville. I am the Hackensack representative for the TANEC, which is Teterboro Aircraft Noise Abatement Advisory Committee. So I am just here to update the mayor and the city council on the last TANAC meeting. So our meeting was October the 22nd, and unfortunately, we were at a little bit of a disadvantage, right? Due to the swearing in of the new council, we missed the July 16th meeting. It happened roughly about a week or so after you guys were sworn in. So we were not in attendance, and we were unable to get the survey that was given out. So the Teterboro Noise Abatement Authority hired a company that is called HMMH in order to do a noise abatement surveys. HMMH is an international company that works to remediate for different townships airplane noise, right, and issues that we have with residential quality of life. The survey was given and answers were turned in, but in that gap between that, we were not participants. So one of the things that I've asked as the town representative is for the survey to be reopened or at least reissued to Hackensack, so we get an opportunity to provide some feedback to that. After we circulate it to, to the council, we can look it over, we can provide some feedback. There was 100, last year there was 1,770 or something in that ballpark, right? In and out of Teterboro Airport for air traffic, which is significant. Teterboro was never zoned for that. The highest concentration for Hackensack residents is around Prospect Avenue, that they're complaining the most about the noise. And the third part of the complaint for us, beyond the noise at Prospect Avenue, is the issue with larger jets landing, with helicopter noise coming in more frequently, with takeoff and landing now being in the morning time, right? So there's supposed to be a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. gap, but it is a gentleman's agreement, which basically is a handshake. There is no policy or procedure for it. So at any point in time, if somebody decides to come in or land, it just is what it is, right? They have. And then the last part, which was negotiated by the prior council, was to reroute it over Route 17 instead of coming in over Hackensack. So those are all key points that we will be revisiting. But right now, the main part is, one, to get the survey, and two, to work with the FAA, the MTA, and TANAC to try to see how we can start getting them to enforce reusing the new FAA flight path that was agreed to. So, and we presented to the condo board. There is 4 meetings per year, so the next meeting is not until January the 16th, and I'll leave it up to the council to determine if you guys want an update after the meeting, or if you guys prefer, a different kind of update. If you want me to send meeting minutes or something else along the line, you guys can let me know. I think Allison has a copy of the presentation, right? And I will give you guys the traffic survey when I get a chance to scan that in, and I'll send it over to her. Okay, so any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Lett, and I live in Hackensack.
Good evening.
I recently moved to Passaic Street from James Street, and we didn't have a lot of time to move or get ready to move and everything. So we moved in 257 Passaic Street, and I never really got to have it inspected or anything, and I've been trying to talk to the landlord and the super about certain things that really need to be done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the apartment. Excuse me. I don't talk in front of a lot of people too much, but I'm gonna make my way through.
Just talk to me. I'll help you. You're okay.
Okay. So right now I have maybe 10 or 15 things that are wrong. The floor is in the bathroom is not as it should be. The toilet is not as it should be. Most of the bathroom and the doors, and I think we rented it as a 2-bedroom, but it's really 1 bedroom and it's a big attic. And I want to know who I can get to come out and inspect. How do I go about having that done? Because I've talked to several people, but I have not yet been able to have that service done. I've talked to the landlord and the super, and if I can't get anyone to do what I need them to do, I need to move. I have bad chronic asthma and I have allergies, and the windows are old. When I say old, they are old. The building has to be at least 70 or maybe 80 years old, and the windows are old. Everything's old, but they painted over and everything and did what they did. and the windows are very thin, so it's very windy, and all the dirt and everything comes inside the house. So I'm dusting more than I'm sitting down because it's so bad. And it's on the second floor. I have one knee that's really bad, and I have one that I've had surgery on, and it's bad now because one compensates for the other one. So I just want to know, who do I go talk to? Who can I talk to about this problem that I'm having?
Is that, if I may, Mayor, is it a three-family or is it a two-family?
I don't know. I live on the second floor, and there's someone that lives in the front, and I think there's a couple that lives in the back.
So if it's more than a two-family, I think that there's an inspector. That's the city engages to comply with the DCA regulations, right? I think that's how that works. Is that correct, Tom?
I believe so. I believe so.
Yeah, so
If we get a contact information from you, I'll reach out and get some more information from you and try and direct it to the right people.
Okay, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you. It's jazz right now. it's you know, we do it's jazz.
I'm not sure of the the procedure. Do we wait till later or do we talk
You're here.
now, or-
Please have your time.
Okay, I was just confused by the time, and I'm easily confused. So
It's
that's,
okay.
That's that.
Go ahead.
Okay, look, a couple things I just wanted to bring up about my family. I was.
I'm sorry. Can you just
someone
state your name just for the record?
I'm
please?
Richard Serbo,
Thank you.
Spring Valley Avenue, Hackensack, New Jersey, 46 Spring Valley Avenue. And I just wanted to mention my family. My family are great people. I lost them all, of course. But we hear a lot about a teacher from time to time, and they're honored. Some of them have passed away, some are retiring, this and now a teacher served so many years. I never heard a word when my brother passed away, which was 3 years ago. He was a teacher here for so many years. He coached kids. He did after-school things. He helped the kids that were troubled kids. He did a lot. And I didn't hear one word about Fred Serbo, Jr., as a teacher. And many others are honored somehow through presentations like this sometimes or whatever. And even back further, years ago, Albert Dibb was going to honor my dad, who was a previous former mayor, and he was going to have some kind of a monument or somewhere. He was even looking for a place to put it and this and that. And then that was pulled off the table because I guess I ran against the former mayor and he didn't like that, or somebody didn't like that. So that was those two things. And previously, when I ran for council, I didn't run a viable candidacy. I ran it to honor my family, okay? It was almost a favorite son kind of candidacy. So it's all about my family, me on the ballot, my brother as a teacher, my dad as former mayor. Never heard anything to honor those guys. And I just think they should be honored because they were in love with this city. They cared about it. They did everything they could to make it better. Okay? Thank you very much.
Mr. Serbo, I'm sorry, Mr. Glover, if you can indulge me just for 1 second. Just before you leave, I would be remiss if I didn't say I was not in this seat 3 years ago, but your brother was not just a fantastic teacher, he was my teacher.
Oh,
so,
there you go.
So
Okay.
I think I'm partially in the seat because of him. And not only was he a fantastic teacher, but when I was in school and we did the Christmas caper, He was the evil villain,
That's
and
right.
he did that for a number of years, and it was a wonderful opportunity to work with him not only as a student but also as two local actors of sort. And so, like I said, I would have relished the opportunity. I mean, I did run 4 years ago, so I tried to have the opportunity to say nice things 3 years ago, but let me say them now. And sorry that you feel that honor was not paid, but a wonderful person. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Next up, please.
Good evening, Council. Randy Glover, Hackensack. So 2 things. One, I'm going to ask for the city manager's information so we can send a letter to you requesting, one, that we get the key to the Carver house so we can store some things there as far as from the food pantry. The second thing I think we spoke very briefly about is the house across the street, 78 Central, that city owns, that is not doing anything with. We need an office, and we'll address that as well. And the third thing is that we think it would be a great situation for the city to team up with us as a food pantry. A lot of other towns have food pantries. Is very interesting. So Candy Stewart is our site manager. She has on our uniform. And so today was a food distribution day. And the funny thing was, so of course the line is down the block around the corner and shows you how things happen. Marlene was passing by, and one of the women online was like, oh my God, I need to go pick up my child from school. This line is so long. I can't, I don't want to leave, but I got to go get my kid. She offered, and she took the lady's kid home, okay, because the woman didn't want to get off the line, okay? And as you know, Cassine, Mr. Mayor, your family also volunteers there. And next week, we're giving out turkeys and stuff. We're starting early, so a newspaper reporter is going to be shadowing us because he feels as though that brings the story home that it's a local town that's going to feel the effects of SNAP recipients not getting their things. So he's going to shadow and do a story. But I just think it's important that this town gets involved like other towns. And lastly, some of the summer concerts, like I think I was the one who introduced these concerts to Hackensack before anybody did anything at Hackpack. I was the first person to do it for like 5-6 years. The thing that's missing right now is that there's no cultural integration. So when I was doing the events, we did a Latin night, Caribbean night, in the Middle Eastern Indian night, LGBTQ night, hometown heroes, hometown celebrities, and hired people from the town, okay? And that made a big difference. And when I look at the Green, which this guy has had a contract with the city for like 30 years, LaGuardia, which makes no sense. And you look at the things that were being offered to have Hackensack meet Hackensack. And I think that's still an issue. Like, Hackensack residents don't really know Hackensack residents. And one way to meet Hackensack residents is through music. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Good evening, Bridget, Hackensack.
Evening.
I'm here to ask a question about 2 things about transparency, which you kind of guys ran your campaign on about being transparent. One thing is, I called the city manager's office only to find out you have a new person, I guess, as the confidential executive, but it wasn't put on the agenda for people to know that this position was even open, or on your website to have others be able to fill out for this position. When Jackie Hazmat became the executive confidential secretary in February of 22, that was put on the agenda. When she became the made-up position of the deputy city manager, that was put on the agenda as well, and that was on July 1st of 2024. So I am looking to find out why this new person who went into that position, she wasn't on the agenda at any given time. And we all know that we have a transparency law here in the state of New Jersey. That was actually done on June 1st, and she has been in that position since August.
I'll respond with what I can provide for you. The person who became my assistant in the city manager's office is Monica. That was an interdepartment transfer. It wasn't a new hire.
You're not understanding.
No, and we don't typically, we hire people every day and we don't
Jackie
publish it.
Hazmat was an in-office person
She was
as
the
well.
only reason she was probably on the agenda was when she got promoted.
I would just ask that, you know, of course, you do as you would like, but the colloquy is respectfully inappropriate.
Yeah, no, I understand. No, I mean, there was a question.
Yeah.
There was a response, and then once the response.
So I'm just asking, you know, where is the transparency in it all? There was no transparency whatsoever to the community about this person that you know that is pushed into that position. And everybody know that when Jackie moved from one position to another, it was put on the agenda so that the community knew that she was going from one position to another position, but yours was not. And the way everybody puts the transparency part of it to the back is like when you promote, you know, firemen, policemen, whomever, that should still, but you should still be giving others an opportunity to fill out for that position. And I don't believe you did give others an opportunity to fill out for that position because you knew this person. So it was just like, you knowing the person, even if you knew the person and you wanted her to be in that position, doesn't matter. Should have been posted so others could have had an opportunity, but you didn't do that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rucker. Anyone else from the public? Okay, seeing none, motion to close public comment. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we're gonna go right through. Is that good? You want a break? You want to go?
I can go.
Go straight through? Okay, it's after 8. All right, so we are going to move on to new business. We have resolution 444-25.
Final adoption of ordinance 45, 2025, an ordinance to amend chapter 170 of the code of the city of Hackensack, vehicles and traffic, to add a new handicapped parking space in section 49.2, parking for the handicapped.
Okay, any member of the public wishing to speak on this ordinance and this ordinance only? Seeing none, can I have a motion?
I make a motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Resolution number 445-25.
Introduction of ordinance number 46, 2025, and ordinance amending chapter 37 of the code of the city of Hackensack, rules of order.
Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Moving on to the consent agenda, please.
The following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any items requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and the consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. The consent agenda is resolution 446 through resolution 458. And it includes resolution authorizing payment of bills, resolution authorizing tax refunds, resolution authorizing temporary extension of Johnson Park closing hours, resolution authorizing tax collector to convert below charges to property liens, resolution authorizing appointment of special law enforcement officers, class 1 for 2026 calendar year, resolution authorizing leave of absence for Anthony Ianacone, police officer, resolution authorizing raffle licenses, resolution authorizing award of contract to Alimo Group for construction management of the Baldwin Park ADA sidewalk improvement project, resolution authorizing release of escrow for 150 Hobart Street, resolution authorizing approval to update city's equitable section 457 deferred compensation plan, resolution awarding national co-op contract for the purchase of 2 E1 pumper fire engines, resolution authorizing mini food pantry project, and resolution authorizing the mayor to sign employment agreement with city manager Thomas Freeman.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll offer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, I feel like we just did this. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
Sergey Tolstoy, Hackensack. I'd like to comment on the safety of Hackensack again. We have police officers, we have firefighters. We're now in the month of November because we just skipped right through October. I didn't see an increase in the patrolling of the city for safety, as we already spoke on the violations being conducted in the city of Hackensack due to people not stopping on red and just running the red and just making their turns on right. We have above speed limits on Summit, Powerfly, Essex. We also have EV safety, which I spoke on before, which was early October. And since then, we had 3 other individuals die to traffic accidents with EVs. We also have October, which is the fire prevention month. We have also EVs coming out from the streets into the apartments. I talked to my friend Kurt. He said they're going to try to look into something because I'm seeing Hackensack vulnerability as we get into this November month. And a lot of people with the EVs don't understand the seriousness of the issues. We just had someone killed in Queens, New York, in a fire. Or they were hurt. I don't think they died. I think they were seriously hurt in a Queens EV fire. So I'd like to see that be at the forefront of this particular council as we somehow want to unite Hackensack, but we're jumping ahead with bike lanes and other stuff, but we don't have the rules in place to basically make this a safe and happy place for children, families, and community. And also, in the eyes of transparency, that's what we need to have, because we have boards and committees in this city that do not provide access to all. We may have some ADA abilities, but there's other people with other disabilities like myself that should have the ability to see what's going on these boards and committees in terms of Zoom meetings. If you go to California, they're all over the place because they know people want to see how their money is being spent and how people are coming together to talk about certain items. So I'd like to see transparency across the board for all boards and committees, in that we have a website that's dedicated to showing the individuals what is being presented, when, and what's going to be talked about, because this should be top of minds when you have a website and you have a city government, especially in the century we live in, 21st century, 2025. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tolstoy.
Randy Glover again. Just a quick question. I see a resolution submitted for a mini food pantry project. Can you tell me who that is? Like, what company is that, or nonprofit? Because we'll be submitting a resolution to you in the next session.
It's a 17-year-old Girl Scout.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you.
You got it.
Blanche Candy Stewart.
Yes.
Mrs. McFadden, I heard her name mentioned. She lives directly behind my house. We have the same situation with the parking. We do need residential parking. I am the only house on 3rd Street between High and Clay, the only house. You would think I had 40 cars. And I don't drive. So please, residential parking is necessary. Most of the people who park on 3rd live in Quail Heights, the Summit. So it really needs to be reviewed and addressed. Please, I agree with Ms. McFadden. She can't park on High Street. We can't park on 3rd Street. Thank you.
Thank you.
I showed him the jacket. I stood up and modeled it back there.
If you guys don't get that Girl Scouter jacket, Randy.
Rich Serbo, I'm back. And the gentleman that spoke before us said his name, and it just gave me an idea that if his name is Tolstoy, Tolstoy was a monumental mind and a writer, and a terrific Russian writer. And he mentioned one thing I'll never forget. He said that underlining everything, a subtext to everything, is a societal lie. Societal lie. So let's try to keep it keep it honest here. There's lying everywhere, and it becomes it's not what's being said, but what's not being said, especially in political dialogue. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Tolstoy. And Tolstoy's societal lie reminds us to kind of try to tell the truth, you know, and let's be truthful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Kenneth Martin, Hackensack. Request if you could have the patrolman on Anderson Street and the patrolman plural on Main Street pay close attention to double parking. We have, and on Anderson Street, you have individuals park their cars, double park their cars, and actually leave their vehicles to go into the store, which become a hazard where the, if you're traveling west on Anderson, you actually have to go into the eastbound lane and traffic actually stop. Plus pedestrians, that's becoming a very congested area at Anderson Street. So if we can have the patrolmen, which we will call Post 8 and Post 7, those two officers pay more attention to that area of Anderson Street as well as Main Street, because now we have two-way street on Main Street. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mayor Gaines, Council. Just to follow up on the last meeting, right? We had the question on eminent domain to see if we can get an answer on like when it can be invoked, because as the chair of the Hackensack Environmental Commission, that question was posed to us about the Prospect Avenue area that they wanted to build the nursing home, as to whether or not, you know, there's something the Environmental Commission can push for that. And as far as I understand, we do not, even as an advisory board, we do not have the ability, right, to give you guys counsel on what is or isn't eminent domain use. So that's
what you're asking. I just want to make sure I'm clear. What you're asking, I'm going to ask legal if you don't mind.
Oh, we couldn't. I'm sorry. I thought I was in the mic.
No. So what you're asking is whether or not
the question came to say that could we invoke eminent domain to get the parcel of land that is on Prospect Avenue where they were going to build a nursing home in order to turn it into a pocket park, right, for environmental reasons and for Prospect Avenue. As far as I'm aware, I don't think that is an option. That's privately owned, right? So I don't necessarily know what's the criteria as a town for us invoking eminent domain.
I'm going to defer the legal question to our legal mind, if you'd like to have it.
So if the question is, can the city exercise eminent domain over private property, the answer is yes, it can. Whether the city would exercise it over a specific piece is a question for the mayor and council. So I can't answer specifically whether or not the council, of course, would consider that piece you're referencing. But technically, the city has the eminent domain power.
Okay, so they could.
They do.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that was the one.
It does, yeah. The city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was the one that was asked to us, so we were not sure, like, what, you know, what the criteria was, what could you do, is it a conversation to be had? And if there is an opportunity, like, I don't necessarily know, I thought it was like 1.2 million, but correct me if I'm wrong, in the open space fund, right? I think it's like 1.2 million or something like that, that's in the trust, I don't necessarily know the number. Is there an opportunity to look to see if the property could be purchased? Could we use the funds? So I think it's up to you guys to make a determination on how that money is supposed to be used, right? And I don't know if that conversation is to be had yet. So is that a possibility to say, okay, we can look to see whether or not there's any grant opportunities to supplement the open space fund, and whether or not that's something the city could be, you know, to purchase to turn into a pocket park or some other.
I'm going to say I think it would be inappropriate to comment on that particular parcel, especially since
Understand.
the owner of that parcel has indicated that they plan on
Using
coming
it
back
for
and using it. But I will say heard.
Okay.
And heard.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? Okay, seeing none, motion to close to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay.
Mayor, may I make a comment?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So a resident indicated that, asked why the hiring of an executive assistant in the city manager's office was not on the agenda of the mayor and council, and that's because it's not a mayor and council appointment. The city manager hires the people in the city and moves them around as he sees fit. The only appointments that the mayor and council make are, in fact, the city attorney, city clerk, and city manager. So I just wanted to make sure the record reflected that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you very much. Okay, and with that, we are going to move on to mayor and council comments. Councilwoman.
I have no comments. I just want to congratulate the fire department for their promotions, and thank you for coming, and get home safe.
Thank you. Councilman Diaz.
Okay, good evening, everyone. First, I would like to congratulate the three officers from the fire department, and I wish much success to them. Also, thanks very much our neighbors at Clinton Place for keeping the traditions alive year in, year out. Okay? And it's been a busy 2 weeks after the previous meeting. We had the 200 Club Valor Awards, where some of our first responders were honored, well deserved. Then the Chamber of Commerce breakfast brought together so many great local businesses. We also celebrated the grand reopening of Wendy's with a fun ribbon cutting. And yes, a few of us might stay for the Frosty. The kids had a blast at the Halloween party at the Recreation Center, and our Slam Dunk the Junk cleanup was a huge success on Saturday. 52 groups and over 455 volunteers came out to help keep Hackensack beautiful. Big thanks to all the organizers and to all of you who showed up at these events and who are here tonight. It really shows your commitment to our city's growth and community spirit. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank you, Councilman. So a few things. First, I want to do a better job than I did at the last meeting to just address some of the comments. Ms. Stewart, I hear you about, is she still here? I lost
Candy's
you.
still here.
Sorry. About 3rd Street, I recognize that I think your clock went back a couple of years. My clock goes back just a couple of months in this seat. So what I will say is I hear you, and Ryan, I'm sure, hears you, and the city manager hears you, and I will freely concede I do not know how the schedule of which street gets done. My parents, as you know, are not that far from there, and their street is in disrepair as well, probably just as long as yours. And so I do not know how things get put on that timeline, but I'm going to leave it to the experts to take note once again. We do have fresh eyes and ears, so hopefully you're not here 3 years from now asking, hopefully. So I just want to echo the comments on Slam Dunk the Junk, which was amazing. The one thing I just want to add to what the councilman said is we broke a record this year. We had more organizations than ever participate. We had more actual participants, so people that the organizations brought, which meant that we were able to give away more grant money, Clean Communities grant, to these nonprofit organizations. The overwhelming majority of them are things that directly benefit our kids, and the overwhelming majority of them, maybe even all of them, but I'll just say the majority of them so no one fact checks me, are Hackensack organizations. And so every participating organization got a $500 grant, and the amount of grant money that we receive is directly proportional to the amount of participants that we have. The more people we have, the more for everyone. And so if you did not participate in Slam Dunk the Junk this time around, I believe we do it twice a year. Please come back for the next time and come get some of that 501c3 grant money for your 501c3. But it was a wonderful time. And also I want to acknowledge the rec department for their Halloween party for the kids. I went by there as well, watched a magic show, listened to some spooky tunes, and everything was wonderful. I was not in a costume, but there were some very good costumes there. So thank you to everyone who came. There have been lots of questions and concerns raised about safety and parking. These are all things that this council hears. As you know, we have tried not only to address safety locally in Hackensack, but even trying to engage New Jersey Transit to make their part of Hackensack safer for our residents and people passing through Hackensack as well. But we will have all those things on the list and see what we can do about those things. For those who missed, it was mentioned that we're taking a holistic look at the parking situation. So I know a couple of people have asked about parking on this street or that street. I believe the city manager said maybe 2 meetings ago that we are looking citywide so that we don't enforce or we don't pass an ordinance to have a parking sticker on street A, and then that just pushes more people over to street C, and now we're always playing catch up. And frankly, I think that's what's happening a little bit. There were residents at some point that asked for a flashing stop sign, a speed bump, and now those requests come every single meeting, and I think it's kind of that thing. So we're gonna try and be proactive. I know that it sounds contradictory, that proactive is going to take a little bit of time, but we're trying to zoom out, look at the city, make sure that we don't create a problem somewhere else by trying to solve a problem on one particular street. So please just bear with us, but that's something that I know the manager is actively working on with PD, and so it was mentioned a couple meetings ago, but just in case people missed it. The other thing I want to mention, we are really blessed in Hackensack to have a number of food pantries. Randy has spoken about his food pantry and what they provide. We have a number, some through churches, some through 501c3s. There is a reality that 2,877 Hackensack families not residents, families, are going to lose their SNAP benefits on Saturday. 2,877 households are going to lose their SNAP benefits on Saturday. And so when I talk about residents, these are often seniors, disabled individuals, families with children. They're Hackensack folk. And they are going to be at an extreme detriment due to the government shutdown. And so one of the things that we were asked to do, I received a telephone call from County Commissioner Tracy Zur, and she said, you have a very high number of folks in your municipality. Saturday is soon, but can you do anything to help support these folks? And I will say that we are still working through a comprehensive plan, but what I can say for right now, and I want to give a lot of thanks to Frank, to Monica in your office, to the manager. I want to give thanks to some of our local churches, and I'll name some of those, and hopefully there are more that come on board. But we are going to institute an emergency food drive. And we are also been talking with the schools. The schools are going to be encouraging the students and parents to bring in canned goods, pasta, diapers, things like that, essential items that when these food pantries see an influx this weekend, which is likely to happen, the food pantries throughout Hackensack do not run out, or at least do not run out as quickly. And so, Frank, I don't know if you're in a capacity to put the flyer up, but we have a flyer that we are going to be disseminating at least through social media. It'll be in the newsletter. We will be disseminating it as quickly as we can. But there are some essential items that the county has sort of identified as being highly in demand items. We are going to have drop boxes in those locations. So that's City Hall right here in the lobby. That's the rec center. And then the fire stations will have drop boxes as well for people to leave items. We will make sure that those items get to the appropriate food pantries, and we have been reaching out to make sure that there are folks that are ready to receive these items. But I just really want to encourage everyone who has the capacity to give and to help to do so. Food insecurity is a very real thing. It is scary. It is scary to navigate a system and be approved for benefits. And it is even scarier to have those benefits taken away because of actions in Washington, D.C., when you are trying to take care of your family and make sure that everyone is okay. And so please, there's also going to be a drop location at Mount Olive Baptist Church. There will also be a drop location at New Hope Baptist Church, and we are reaching out to more churches throughout the city to see if they will put up drop boxes as well. So if you are someone who needs assistance, or if you know someone who needs assistance, these are not pickup locations. We're collecting, and these are donation locations, and then we are getting these items to the various food pantries that receive these items. So with that, I just want to say have a good night, have a safe Halloween for all who participate. Please look out for each other, be compassionate towards each other. This is a scary time for a lot of folks. And please give if you have the ability to, if you are fortunate enough to be able to. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.